It's the guy. This is the Polaroid Spirit 600, and this is one of Polaroid's most iconic cameras. This is basically another version of the one-step camera. It's basically the same camera. They released a lot of different variants of this camera. Most of them didn't really do anything different, but some of them had some neat features like autofocus. But this is pretty much as basic and like the raw experience as you can get. Now, I don't have any film for this guy because, well, the film for this is really expensive. And I can't even try it with, like, photo paper because the battery is in the film. Well, I mean, that's great because you always get a fresh new battery and these things just wake right up when you put some new film in. But it means you can't test them or really do anything without the proprietary film. So, I guess it's good that old Polaroid came back. So, since I can't really shoot this camera, I'm just gonna talk about the guy himself. Here he is. It's the guy. So, I mean, you can see all the obvious stuff. Big ol' flash, weirdly placed shutter button, film slot with the weird tongue thing. And you know it's good quality when the viewfinder window is bigger than the lens. I want to talk about the functionalities and how it works, which I just said the same thing twice. The lens is a fixed aperture, and obviously the film is a fixed ISO for whatever the film is. I don't actually know how ISO works on Polaroid film, but I think they're all the same. Probably like a 400 or 600 speed. The control on this is not as limited as it seems, because this, when I first saw this, I would think, oh, it's basically an auto mode, and you're just getting to choose the exposure compensation. But really, this is much closer to just a shutter speed dial, because the other two settings are fixed. But it would still be nice to get some actual manual controls on this. I didn't realize, but in the viewfinder, if I can remember to take video of the viewfinder, inside of there, when you change the exposure compensation, you can actually see little left and right arrow thingy gets uncovered to tell you that you have this not in the middle. That's actually a pretty nice feature that I had no idea about. What I think is cool about this exposure compensation is that you can see exactly how it works. If you look in there, in this little window, you can see that when I move this, what that actually is a little grid that goes over the light meter that is a different density of just black lines that as you move the little thingy back and forth, it changes how much light can reach the light meter and gives it a compensation. I think that's really cool. I love doing things practically, even when it clearly has the capability to do it digitally, and they didn't. I think that's just good. Another thing I think is pretty cool about these cameras is that even though this particular one is a rangefinder, obviously, it's still a reflex camera. You see this weird shape? That is actually because there is a mirror right on this surface on the inside of there, because it has to reflect down onto the film so it can spit out. I don't think this camera has autofocus, so I don't know what half pressing the shutter button does, but it clearly has a half press and full press. And when you're done shooting, you can just wham, the thing is all protected. I mean, this is the best lens cap that you can ever have. And it just is a little box now. And you can't shoot with the lens cap on because you can't see zip through the viewfinder, which is neat. There's a lot of double functionality in this camera. I mean, the whole camera is double function. It's a camera and a printer. It's just so cool. I really want to get film, but it's so expensive.